Hello, everyone, and welcome to Connecting Consciousness Illinois. I'm Stanley Smith. It's Thanksgiving time. We were talking last week about spiritual practices and how Connecting Consciousness is a spiritual organization. I put it out there to our members and asked them, what does this mean to you? Tonight, I was at the East Bank Club having dinner at the bar, and I was trying to decide if I should have grinded up turkeys or grinded up cows for dinner. I am not a big beef eater, but David the bartender asked what I was having, and I told him I had not eaten all day, and he suggested I have the burger. Some people find fasting to be a spiritual practice, but I was focused more on having a quiet dinner as my form of meditation. But before I knew it, I was engaged in a conversation about food pyramid with the guy on my right, and another conversation about the vaccine and booster shot with the guy on my left. Neither conversation I wanted to have, especially in front of David, the bartender at the grill. I was startled when the food pyramid guy said they need to focus on healthy living in this country. I told this guy that would be highly problematic because once you start to define healthy, you enter into a values proposition. And in today's world, that gets yourself labeled as a racist or a white supremacist. When I started in June of this year serving as your state coordinator for Connecting Consciousness, they told me to be open to all areas of interest that our members are into, including medbeds, quantum financial, political, intel, conspiracy, spiritual, UFOs, and aliens. Luckily, this was easy because most of these topics all came out of the starting gate when we had our first Zoom meeting in June. After a few weeks, I did notice that I had not heard much about UFOs or spiritual, and one of our members said that is because behind everything is the spiritual. One can see that values is a moral and social convention that include manners and customs, and these provide structure and form to our daily living. Do you have to agree with all of them? Probably not. But we do not need to do away with all of our customs and traditions just because we happen to disagree with some parts of them. If there are space aliens among us, the easiest thing they could do is to spoof our social conventions, because even they could see, when on Earth, do as the Earthlings do. Most moral and social conventions radiate primarily from the religions of the world and from philosophy. And what is the primary focus of religion and philosophy? The fact that the starting point is that we value life. And this brings us to the crux of Thanksgiving. We are not thankful for stuff. We are thankful because it is a spiritual practice to do so. I was struck last week when one of our new members, Francine, was able to join our Zoom call for the first time because her son, Stephen, was good enough to set her up on the account. And this week, when Tammy Saya mentioned she would probably continue to host the DuPage call, even if she only had one guest, because that one guest could be the one guest that really needed to connect that week. I'm not thankful for these things. I'm thankful for being thankful. I'm thankful that Simon created this platform for no other purpose than for us to be able to connect. And what is the appeal of Simon? That he's a real person. And in that, we can see that we are a real person and that our neighbor is a real person. And that is because we are all human and we are all alive. And we value that. When you look at the content of our members' social media platforms in Slack, Telegram, and the New Mighty Network, and Signal, you can see that we have categories for spiritual, religious, health and wellness, and political, among others. Many of these get a lot of action, but spiritual and religion do not get a lot of activity. As we explore this time of thankfulness together, let us look through the lens of the spiritual and continue to see each other's bright, smiling faces as fellow travelers, and let us continue to delight and support each other in all the seen and unseen forms our values proposition of connecting consciousness takes us in the days and weeks ahead. If you would like to join Connecting Consciousness, I will include the web listing for you to learn more about how to join us, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.